Good afternoon. I'm Deputy Superintendent Ryan Lebrano. I oversee major investigations for the New Orleans Police Department. Today I'm joined by the FBI Special Agent in charge, Mr. Lionel Myrtle for the New Orleans Field Office, other members of the FBI, members of our cold case homicide team, and family members of a victim that I'm about to discuss a cold case. Cold case homicides are difficult on their own to solve, but cases where the identity of the victim is not known to investigators are even more difficult. Thanks to advancements in DNA testing, our partners at the FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigations, have aided us in positively identifying the victim of a murder which took place 22 years ago. Now our cold case investigators can reopen and work towards solving the murder of Miss Leila Ann May Malley. We are joined today with her family, who now know her fate, which is painful, but not knowing what happened to her is even more so. Investigative genetic genealogy emerged as a new investigative tool in 2018 for law enforcement identifying the remains of Leila Ann May Malley as the first successful use of the tool for the New Orleans Police Department. Now that the NOPD has begun to move forward with the investigation, and we will work hard to bring closure to this family, in a moment, New Orleans FBI Special Agent in charge, Lionel Myrtle, will explain the exciting advancements in DNA testing utilized by his team. But first, I will ask Detective Ryan Oakland from the Cold Case Unit to give you more particulars of the investigation.
Good afternoon. My name is Detective Ryan Oakland. I'm with the Cold Case Homicide Section. We're going to go back to 2002. In 2002, February 24th to be exact, the unidentified remains of a white female were found in the 1200 block of Eliza Street in Algiers. The identity of the victim remained unknown, and the investigation kind of stalled out shortly after it began. In 2005, prior to Hurricane Katrina, we reached out to the Louisiana State University Faces Lab in an effort to get them to help us in putting together a composite of what the unidentified remains may have looked like at the time of her death. That was completed in 2006, and her identity still remained unknown all the way up until this year, up until 2024. In February of 2024, I was approached by FBI Special Agent Matthew Strickland, in reference to this case, offering to assist us with investigative genetic genealogy testing in an effort to build a family tree and ultimately attempt to identify the victim. Just a couple weeks ago, we were successful. The FBI, through their hard work, was successful in locating family members of Miss Leila Ann May Malley, and she was positively identified. So I'll answer any questions about the investigation that I can after, but I'm going to let the special agent in charge of the FBI come up and speak on the on how they were able to make that identification.
Good afternoon. FBI New Orleans is proud to have partnered with NOPD in this case and finally bring some measure of comfort to Leila's family. Investigative genetic genealogy, or IGG, is a relatively new technology. The Justice Department came up with this policy guidelines just 5 years ago for this technology. Because of privacy concerns, that guidance makes it very clear that we only use this technology in cases of unsolved violent crimes to either help identify unknown subjects or help identify victims in cold cases such as this one. We can't fulfill our mission if we can't identify the bad guys or help provide answers for loved ones left in limbo when a family member just disappears. Anyone who watches TV crime shows knows that DNA technology itself has been around for a long time. Since 1994, in fact, when law enforcement could compare a subject's DNA sample to a known national database known as CODIS. Before we can turn to IGG, samples first have to be run through CODIS. With no answers there, we can now turn to IGG. With IGG, a more comprehensive analysis of DNA is completed and then compared to samples voluntarily entered into publicly available genetic genealogy services. The DNA profile is uploaded to that service, which identifies potential relatives of the victim. Since the FBI started using this technique, it has assisted in solving over 140 cases in 27 states. In this case, the FBI was then able to build family trees that provided a roadmap to Leela's family. All told, it took about 6 months to get answers in this case. After 22 years, this certainly isn't the answer Leela's daughter, Kimberly, or sister, Mary, wanted, but it can now allow the focus to shift in solving a murder case. And we are certainly hopeful that this first for FBI New Orleans leads to many more answers for families like this one. One last point we'd like to make. I'd like to thank Special Agent Matthew Strickland and Detective Ryan Oakland and all our partners for their assistance, including the LSU FACES Lab, NAMUS, which is a national clearinghouse for missing people, and the North Louisiana Crime Lab, and the Orleans Coroner's Office. Thank you.
Now we'll have Ms. May's daughter, Ms. Kimberly Bergeron, want to say a few words. Just want to remind everyone, Ms. Bergeron has very limited information, so we respectfully not ask her any questions, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kimberly Bergeron. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I think this is amazing that this developed over this long of a period of time, because if this would have come about, we probably would have never known what happened to her. So I'm just asking anyone that has any information leading to a suspect or has any information about her, that's known her in the past, or anything about this investigation would come forward. And I just want to thank everyone that's done everything that they can to try to find her and actually try to find who did this to her. So thank you.
Okay, we will begin on my left. Questions for law enforcement, that means on my right. And, Gabby, you want to kick us off?
Sure. I have a question for Special Agent Myrtle, was it?
Myrtle, yes.
Do you mind spelling your name?
Myrthil.
Special Agent, do you mind telling us, like, with the IPG, how you gain access to potential DNA relatives? Is there, like, a sort of national database in addition to the law enforcement database? Or can you just tell us a little bit more about how you ultimately determine that family tree?
So ultimately, the DNA is voluntarily provided by individuals into these services. What we do is we receive information that's publicly available, whether it's name or email or the closeness of matches to a particular DNA. And really what it boils down to is good old-fashioned police work to then make those connections. So looking at records, publicly available records, whether it's birth certificates, obituaries, all of the above, to make those connections. And really it's a lot of patience, but a lot of relying on the public as well to communicate and go back and forth with regards to making those connections.
Foxy?
So, IDG is new technology. When you all are testing that DNA, is that done here in the state, or does that get sent elsewhere?
So in terms of the DNA testing itself, so that is not done by us, so that those matches are done elsewhere. What we do is we take the information in terms of the connections with that DNA, and then we start working from there. So it's provided to law enforcement as a lead, to begin the lead process, to then for us to confirm. But ultimately, once we determine a connection, that connection has to be confirmed through a positive DNA match. So that's where we take samples from either family members and then compare that with actual samples. So that's where the process begins for us in terms of confirmation.
And if I may, a quick follow-up. We see the photo on the screen. Can you all share a little bit more personally about the victim in this case, who she was, and it's a small child as well on the left?
Yeah, and then for that, I'll defer to Detective Oakland to provide some additional background.
Thank you. So I'll do my best with that. Ms. Bergeron, is that you in the picture? That's your sister, okay. So unfortunately would be the wrong term. What we do have are the pictures that were supplied by the family. Unfortunately, that's the most accurate picture that we have. We don't have anything more current. You remember, it was 22 years ago, right? So Miss Malley was in between New Orleans and Mississippi quite often. So as far as what she did, what she was into is something that I won't release just to maintain the integrity of the investigation. But we're definitely, want to reach out to the public, and we're sure, I mean, she was in New Orleans a lot, we're sure somebody from New Orleans, would recognize, even if it's just a name, they may not recognize that picture because it's older, but they would recognize her name, for sure.
6, the issue? Yeah, I'm sorry.
I apologize if this is repetitive or you can even speak on this, but just, I guess in terms of motive or suspects in the case, is there any findings on that?
At this point, no. This is a really big step for us, finding out who the victim is, right? That's always step one in any investigation, especially a homicide investigation. As far as suspects go, we won't release that at this point. As far as the motive goes, there's nothing that's been substantiated as far as a motive.
Can you guys at least share her age at this time and spell her name for me?
Sure. So Leila, Lelia, her middle name is Ann, A-N-N, May, M-A-Y, and I believe, if I'm correct, her married name was Malley, M-A-L-L-E-Y. And she was 49 years old at the time of her death.
And just to follow, you guys said she was found in Algiers. Was it at a home, just on the street? Can you guys set the scene for us a little bit more?
Sure. It was in the 1200 block of Eliza, which if you look at the 1200 block now, there's like a small subdivision there. In 2002, it was just vacant lot. So it wasn't an overgrown vacant lot in that block.
Turn the floor.
You mentioned how this is newer technology. Is there going to be a threshold at which this technology is now implemented? Is it going to have to be, we've tried every other process that we have at our fingertips, or when will you guys be using this technology?
So similar to most other technologies, it's a tool in our toolkit. So when it comes to bringing justice to victims and bringing justice to loved ones, we use every tool in our toolkit. So this is one that we've exhausted as many different leads as we can, and this is an opportunity to use a new technology to tackle a problem and bring justice to the family. So again, it is something that we will see being used more and more. Unfortunately, it is something that is unfortunate that we have to use them during homicide investigations, but it's a tool that we partner with our partners to bring to the table as we investigate these investigations.
All right, thank you guys for coming out so much.
Thank you.
If I can ask y'all just to run a Crime Stoppers tag at the end of the story.